So hello there, my name is Richard from Silent Peak and a very warm welcome to this ON1 Effects 2025 review. So ON1 Effects is a layer-based photo editing application for PC and Mac. You can use ON1 Effects as a standalone application or as a plugin for popular photo editing applications such as Photoshop and Lightroom Classic. So as a layer-based editor, this means you will be able to apply your adjustments in layers, and basically as you apply multiple different adjustments and effects in layers, you will be able to blend these layers together to create compound effects that are simply not possible with standard non-layer based photo editing applications. Furthermore, you can apply these effects to your entire image or just to specific areas of your photo using one of Efex many different masking tools. Now, if this is sounding all rather complicated, then fear not. Efex comes armed with hundreds of presets, enabling you to score attractive results quickly and easily. So if you're watching this review and you already have Efex 2023, then perhaps you're wondering what is new in 2025. Well, quite a lot actually. So first up is the AI erase brush. Now with this brush we can remove unwanted photographic elements, and the generative AI feature will basically backfill their absence to hopefully leave us with a result that appears as if that object was never there. In a similar vein, we also have the distraction removal tool. Now this tool enables you to get rid of key distractions, specifically power lines, people, and vehicles from your photo without having to do so much as lay a single brushstroke. ON1 Effects 2025 also brings us canvas extension, which is best described as a sort of anti-crop tool. With cropping, basically we remove parts of our photo to make a smaller, more concise image. With canvas extension, however, we actually expand the photo, and canvas extension's generative AI will basically include more content, making your photo bigger as a result. We also have a new masking tool, a depth mask. Now, as the name suggests, the depth mask enables us to mask parts of our image based on its perceived distance away from our lens. So the most obvious utility for this is perhaps to sort of add background blurs to your portraits. We also have two new filters. We've got edit color, which enables you to sample a specific color from your photo and then adjust its brightness, contrast, and hue. And we also have the matched color option, which gives us the ability to sort of borrow the color characteristics of one image and then apply them to another. So if you have got this far into this review and already like what you hear, you can try ON1 Effects free, and to that end there is a link to your free ON1 Effects trial in the description below. Alternatively, drop by Silent Peak Photo and its store. Here you can find links to the Efex review among many other reviews, other software deals, promo codes, free trials, you name it, it's there. Check it out. So let's talk about specific features in ON1 Effects and of course whether or not they're any good. Now ON1 Effects offers newcomers a warm welcome in the form of its vast collection of presets. 38 different collections in fact, ranging from black and white, HDR look, portrait, landscape, and so on. 8 of these categories are actually AI adaptive presets. Now these are like normal presets except they adapt to the tonal characteristics of your photo for an overall better result. We also have a preset recommendation system where the program analyzes your photo and then, based on your previous selections and indeed the selections of the ON1 team, will recommend which presets might best suit your image. Now, once you have applied your preset, you are free to adjust any of its properties or indeed add additional filters to it. Once you have finished your edit, you can save the sum of your edit as your own preset and then therefore have it ready for future use. So let's talk about filters. Now, ON1 Effects and its range of presets are built around 33 different filters. Now, these filters range from sort of typical, sort of normal adjustments such as tone curves, exposure, white balance, to heavily stylized options such as HDR look, textures, sunshine, and borders, and so on. Now, this means that you are able to use Efex like a traditional photo editor and not go over the top. However, Efex is at its very best when we do lean into the extremes. We can do some quite crazy stuff with Efex, and it is quite impressive, produces attractive results, and is a lot of fun as well. Now, as I touched on earlier, we can use filters and apply them to our entire photograph or just to specific areas using masking tools. Now, ON1 Effects is packed with masking tools. Perhaps the most noteworthy is Mask AI and Super Select AI. So Mask AI works by presenting us with a list of photographic elements that appear in our image. So for example, it might give us a list of person, animal, mountains, water, background, and so on. And we can simply click on one or many of these items and those objects will be instantly masked. Super Select AI works a little bit differently. Here we actually click on the images in the photo itself. So for example, we might click on the mountains, the water, the grass, and we can click on as many objects as we want. Thereafter, that object is masked, and then we can go straight for the filter that we wish to apply. Now, as with every other AI masking tool that I've tested, you will find that Super Select AI and Mask AI's effectiveness does depend on the nature of the subject and your overall complexity of your image. At best, they can work flawlessly, but at worst, you may find that you need to sort of use them as a head start and then refine your selection with a little bit of manual brushing. Besides AI masking, there are other ways we can mask our photo. So for example, we have luminosity masking, which basically enables us to mask parts of our image based on their brightness. We have a color mask, which does roughly the same thing, except with a specific color. New to ON1 Effects 2025, as mentioned earlier, is the depth mask. This enables us to mask parts of our image based on its perceived distance away from our camera's lens, so ideal for a little bit of background blur. And as you might expect, we have all the old-fashioned masking tools, such as a linear and radial mask, plus an edge-aware brush. So with the fundamentals covered, let's talk about some of ON1 Effects 2025's new features. Let's start with the AI brush. Now, reviewing AI brushes is very tricky indeed because they are so unreliable and inconsistent. And this is very much the case here. Now, this isn't to say that the AI brush is bad in any particular way, because on occasion it can produce truly impressive results, but then on other occasions seems to fumble what should really be a rather trivial deletion. The problem with this AI brush and many others on many other applications I've tested is that you're not quite sure when it's going to work and when it's not. So it's very difficult to sort of give you an appraisal of how good it is. Then in a similar vein to the AI erase brush, we have the distraction removal tool. So instead of brushing away our unwanted photographic clutter, distraction removal tool looks for 3 key distractions, namely power lines, vehicles, and crowds. To use distraction removal tool, we'll simply click which distraction we want to remove. It will automatically find and mask those distractions. We click the button and then they are gone. In my testing, I found the distraction removal tool to be quite capable, although of course the effectiveness of such a tool always depends on the complexity of the image overall. The next thing we have to talk about is canvas extension. And now canvas extension is the anti-crop. In other words, what we do is we actually expand our image's borders, and the canvas extension's generative AI will basically insert brand new content to match the original scene. So it sounds very good in promise, but in practice it's not particularly effective. In some cases it would actually sort of do a realistic approximation of what should be in the frame, but of course wasn't. However, it often looks very artificial and suffers certain artifacts such as a detail loss, blurring, mosaicing, posterization, you name it really. It's a fun tool to use, however, I certainly wouldn't base your buying decision on this tool, and you should really ought to sort of treat it as a sort of curiosity and perhaps an insight to the future of photo editing applications. So let's talk about usability and performance. In other words, is ON1 Effects a nice product to use? Well, ON1 Effects' extensive preset collection make it a good option for newcomers or anyone looking for a quick result. Furthermore, browsing effects presets is a breeze thanks to a well-presented and responsive interface. However, getting to know ON1 Effects beyond the superficial can take you a little bit of time, thanks to its text-heavy interface and the complexity that comes with its outstanding capability. In other words, ON1 Effects is more complex than most because it does more than many. Yet, it does shoot itself in the foot with some peculiar language, and some of its functionality is obscurely placed. making features such as canvas extension more difficult to find than they should be. Thankfully, none of these hurdles can be considered long-term problems, but they may be sufficient to scare off anybody unwilling to give Efex a robust trial. Regarding performance, ON1 Effects can be broadly described as good. Specifically, it responds to your inputs in real time, resulting in a pleasant workflow. While you will likely experience some latency, it typically occurs during image loads and compute-heavy tasks such as AI arrays. Now, the thing about reviewing performance is it is subjective and we're all using different hardware. Therefore, I strongly recommend that you try ON1 Effects before you buy it, and to that end, there is a free Efex trial in the description below. So you've got this far in the review and you've decided that ON1 Effects might not be for you. So, well, what else could you buy instead? Well, the most obvious alternative is ON1 Photo Raw. Now, the thing is, ON1 Photo Raw includes Efex. In fact, Efex as itself is pretty much an extract of ON1 Photo Raw. So in other words, if you have ON1 Photo Raw, you do not need ON1 Effects. Now, unlike Efex, ON1 Photo Raw is a full-blown photo management and editing studio with top-tier noise reduction, AI upscaling, time-lapse, panorama, HDR, portrait enhancement, sky replacement, just to name a few. But the thing is, it doesn't cost very much more than ON1 Effects. Therefore, if you are looking for an overall sort of photography studio, you are much better off going with ON1 Photo Raw rather than Efex. However, it may be the case that you're completely happy with your current photo editing application and simply wish to supplement it with a layer-based Efex feature, in which case ON1 Effects is an outstanding option. So the other alternative to ON1 Effects is Nik Color Efex. Now, the bottom line is that Nik Color Efex is more expensive and less capable than ON1 Effects 2025. For example, ON1 Effects 2025 will work with your RAW files, while Nik Color Efex will not. Moreover, Color Efex lacks any of ON1 Effects' more advanced peripheral functionality, such as the aforementioned AI brush canvas extension and distraction removal tool. Therefore, choosing simply between Color Efex and ON1 Effects is a rather simple case. We simply buy ON1 Effects, right? However, Color Efex comes with 6 other applications and is 1/7 of the Nik collection. You may find that for that little extra bit of money, the Nik collection gives you better overall value, particularly if you are looking for tools such as sort of a standard noise reduction, HDR, and various other different features. However, if you are exclusively interested in acquiring simply a layer-based photo editing application, ON1 Effects is the way to go. So to conclude, is ON1 Effects 2025 any good? Well, in isolation, ON1 Effects is a home run. It's responsive, competent, feature-rich, and well-priced. While mastering ON1 Effects demands a little bit of patience, its well-implemented preset collection offers newcomers attractive results quickly and easily. However, ON1 Effects does have some minor problems. For instance, its interface could be easier to use, and features such as AI erase and canvas extension feel somewhat underdeveloped. Yet regardless of their shortcomings, their inclusion feels generous given Efex' modest price tag. So overall, ON1 Effects soundly beats its rivals, except one. For a little more money, you can buy ON1 Photo Raw. Not only does Photo Raw have Efex built in, but it also has a whole lot more besides. So if you are looking for an all-in-one photo studio, buy ON1 Photo Raw instead. But if you are happy with your existing photo editing application and merely wish to supplement it with a layer-based editor, ON1 Effects is a great choice. So as always, at the end of this video, I'd like to remind you that I am indeed an ON1 affiliate. However, I am also an affiliate for many other vendors, including Adobe, AC/DC, ON1, DxO, and indeed all of the alternatives recommended in this video. So I am somewhat impartial through saturation. However, you do not need to take my word for any of this. You can try ON1 Effects for yourself. And if you would like to do that, in the description below there is a link to your free ON1 Effects trial. Alternatively, drop by Silent Peak Photo. Here you will find reviews for all kinds of products. You will find the latest pricing, promo codes, and of course free trials. So I'm presuming this isn't the first YouTube video you've ever watched, so you know the deal. If you like this video and you would like to support my efforts, please subscribe and like and so on. I really hope you found this review useful. My name's Richard from Silent Peak and I wish you a very good day. Bye-bye.